Hello Ascenders, thank you to the new subscribers, you are very much appreciated. And thank you to the longtime subscribers for joining us on this fundamental journey of ascension. And we are still here for those who may need more runway and experiences or catalysts to turn up those deeper spiritual interests. We understand. Spiritual Ascenders, this is part 2 of the Architecture of Meditation video series. The prior video was on what is meditation, why and who should meditate. Please feel free to review that video first if needed. It is linked in the description below. I'll do a very quick recap here. The sources can be found in the prior video. Okay, let's go. Why meditate? We meditate to find, to recover, to come back to something of ourselves we once dimly and unknowingly had and have lost without knowing what it was or where or when we lost it. We may call it access to more of our human potential, or being closer to ourselves and to reality, or to more of our capacity for love and zest and enthusiasm, or our knowledge that we are part of the universe and can never be alienated or separated from it, or our ability to see and function in reality more effectively. You can never understand your spiritual purpose unless you see for yourself what lies beyond the veil of surface level thoughts. As you penetrate this veil, you will know your purpose, not because you read about it and believe it, but because you have seen for yourself. So a quick recap of why one should meditate. 1, to know love. 2, to know the Creator and the creation. 3, to know the Creator within you. 4, to know the Creator within others. 5, to know the Creator you are within. 6, to obtain a new view of reality. 7, to realize that all is one. 8, to acquire truth. 9, to accomplish your goals. 10, to improve the health of your mind-body-spirit complex. What is meditation? Rudolf Steiner states that meditation is an essentially free act. In an old meditation VHS tape, Meditation Made Easy, they state, meditation is the practice of learning how to do a better job of what we are feeding into our thoughts day by day. And it's said that we're really meditating all the time through the things that we choose to dwell on. They later state that prayer is talking to God and meditation is listening to God. So to recap, what is meditation from the prior video? 1, simple, practice the presence of the one Creator. 2, the search for wisdom or the relinquishing of wisdom when it has been found. 3, much of the work of any form of meditation is in learning to do one thing at a time. 4, you will become aware of the true creation and its meaning, love. 5, you clear your mind of thoughts. 6, to contact your original identity, the consciousness of the all. 7, perform the only really fully free act in human life. 8, the way which also leads man to the knowledge, to the contemplation of his eternal, indestructible, essential being. And it is only through meditation that man can attain such knowledge. 9, to focus one's thoughts, to engage in contemplation or reflection. And 10, to get in touch with the divine mind. And then, who should meditate? My take, everyone should meditate, period. Meditation is what is meant when people say you need to go within yourself, do the inner work to find oneself, and it's far cheaper than backpacking through Europe, but maybe not as fun. Initially, it's shutting off your 5 senses, and you can do it in many ways, including not shutting off any of the 5 senses. Now let's dive into the how, when, and where to meditate. The first way is to relax and let your mind become at rest. This is the method of meditation. If this is done on a daily basis, then it is not possible to shut out the love that is ever present. You will become aware of the true creation and its meaning. When should one turn to meditation? The law of one material states, turn towards your true consciousness in meditation. When there are pressures, doubts, and difficulties, turn to meditation. When there continue to be these, continue to turn to meditation. There will come in time a simple awareness of what is required, and there will be at that time the ability and the tools with which to do it. The first and most important is that you allow the conscious mind to relax. It is necessary to relieve it of thoughts that are of a transient nature, and we find that thoughts concerning most of the daily activities are of a transient nature. In order to allow the mind to become receptive to things of other than a transient nature, it is suggested that you sit in a quiet place with the spine erect. This is the most important of the techniques of meditation. A silent place is very beneficial, however not necessary. It is more beneficial to an individual who is starting to meditate than it is to an experienced individual. In order to remove the concepts of an intellectual nature that involve the mind and transitory thoughts, it is suggested that something to fascinate the intellect can be at times of use, such as music or what you have called a mantra. This, however, is not necessary. What is necessary is that thoughts that are of an intellectual nature be allowed to leave the consciousness. Focusing on music, binaural beats, for example, is an example of removing thoughts of the intellectual nature. It is important to take questions into meditation, for there is a purpose to your life which is not to be discerned within the illusion, but only while you are in contact with your true reality within the all. The Creator and that part of the Creator, which is you in your true form, have provided you with each day, and each need is taken care of along the path which you are intending to go. Trust to this and seek to know the inaudible through meditation, my friends. There are many ways to meditate. There is, however, only one true form of meditation. It is necessary, if meditation is to be effective, that the intellectual mind be allowed to cease functioning, for this acts as a type of interference to realizing and understanding that is within all beings. In order to do this, it is necessary to learn how. There are many techniques employed in this practice. It is extremely simple for those who have mastered it, and seemingly very difficult for those who are still attempting to master it. There are certain necessary steps if one is to rapidly master this process. It is necessary, it seems, for the individual to be in an atmosphere free from outside distractions. This is of great aid in initially attempting to master the art of meditation. It is also necessary that the individual maintain a posture in which the spine is approximately vertical. The body should be comfortable, but not relaxed in a position so that the spine is not vertical. This perhaps is the most important aspect in mastering the art of meditation, that the spine be maintained in a vertical position. Once a comfortable position has been assumed with an erect position of the spine, it is then necessary that the mind be allowed to slowly discontinue its thoughts. This may be done by focusing the thought upon one object or upon the center of the forehead, or by simply allowing intellectual thoughts to leave the mind. As this process continues, there will be a cessation slowly of the awareness of the physical body. This state should be maintained for a reasonable period of time. This period of time is dependent upon the desire of the individual performing the meditation. However, the benefits of meditation will become obvious to the practitioner, and therefore his length of meditation will depend completely upon his own desires. There are many benefits from the process of meditation. It is up to the individual to discover them for himself, for they are beyond communication in terms of your language. We of the Confederation of Planets are bringing to the people of Earth a simple message and simple instructions. We bring you these simple messages and these simple instructions since these are the only things that are needed at this time by the people of the planet Earth. There is but one lesson to be learned. It is the lesson of awareness, a simple remedy of meditation to open the eyes, to free the spirit, to unlock the mind so that man of Earth may regain his normal abilities. Simply allow yourself to seek and to accept through meditation the contact with the Creator of us all. That is your duty as a portion of this creation. Meditation versus daily activities. Do not allow any more than absolutely necessary your daily activities to encroach upon your meditation. Your daily activities may at times be of such a nature that you have to set aside temporarily your meditation. This is your choice, my friends. Try to order your daily life so that in Audible, each day as you continue to meditate, it will seem to become easier to, again, to use your phrase, to fit your meditation inaudible to your inaudible schedule. My friends, this is due to the fact that your awareness, your, shall we say, sense of values is shifting. The realization that through your meditation, all problems, questions will be answered inaudible. So, my friends, do not hold any recriminations toward yourself if you are unable to adhere to your meditation, but, my friends, inaudible. It would seem to some that this is likened to forming a habit, but not really, because a habit is usually something that inaudible derive benefit from. Seek and ye shall find, it has been written. What ye shall find is more, much more than you could ever imagine. Find it. Find it through meditation. It is there waiting. From the Law of One, channeling Ra, contact session 49. Meanwhile, the Creator lies within. In the North Pole, the crown is already upon the head, and the entity is potentially a god. This energy is brought into being by the humble and trusting acceptance of this energy through meditation and contemplation of the self and of the Creator.
49.7 Questioner. Will you recommend a technique of meditation?
Ra. I am Ra. No.
49.8 Questioner. Is it better, or shall I say, does it produce more usable results in meditation to leave the mind, shall I say, as blank as possible? Let it run down, so to speak. Or is it better to focus in meditation on some object or something for concentration?
Ra. I am Ra. Each of the two types of meditation is useful for a particular reason. The passive meditation involving the clearing of the mind, the emptying of the mental jumble, which is characteristic of mind-complex activity among your peoples, is efficacious for those whose goal is to achieve an inner silence as a base from which to listen to the Creator. This is a useful and helpful tool and is by far the most generally useful type of meditation as opposed to contemplation or prayer. The type of meditation, which may be called visualization, has as its goal not that which is contained in the meditation itself. Visualization is the tool of the adept. Those who learn to hold visual images in mind are developing an inner concentrative power that can transcend boredom and discomfort. When this ability has become crystallized in an adept, the adept may then do polarizing in consciousness without external action, which can affect the planetary consciousness. This is the reason for existence of the so-called white magician. Only those wishing to pursue the conscious raising of planetary vibration will find visualization to be a particularly satisfying type of meditation.
There is a dependency that is mentioned that helps to determine the effectiveness of meditation. Contemplation, or the consideration in a meditative state of an inspiring image or text, is extremely useful also among your peoples. And the faculty of will, called praying, is also of a potentially helpful nature. Whether it is indeed an helpful activity depends quite totally upon the intentions and objects of the one who prays. And there are definitely some very beneficial effects of meditation and reasons it may not be working for you. Channeling Ray, contact session 50.
50.12 Questioner. Each of us feel, in meditation, energy on the head in various places. Could you tell me what this is and what it signifies, and what the various places that we feel it signify?
Ra. I am Ray. The in-streamings of energy are felt by the energy centers which need and are prepared for activation. Thus, those who feel the stimulation at violet ray level are getting just that. Those feeling it within the forehead, between the brows, are experiencing indigo ray, and so forth. Those experiencing tinglings and visual images are having some blockage in the energy center, being activated, and thus the electrical body spreads this energy out, and its effect is diffused. Those not truly sincerely requesting this energy may yet feel it if the entities are not well trained in psychic defense. Those not desirous of experiencing these sensations and activations and changes, even upon the subconscious level, will not experience anything due to their abilities at defense and armoring against change.
LaShawn's book, How to Meditate, gives us some details on how to meditate. A good program of meditation is, in many ways, quite similar to a good program of physical exercise. Both require repeated hard work. What could be more foolish than to repeatedly lift 20 pounds of lead up and down, unless it's counting your breaths up to 4 over and over again, a meditation exercise? In both, the exercise is for the effect on the person doing it, rather than for the goal of lifting heavy lead or counting breaths. Both programs should be adapted to the particular person using them, with a clear understanding that there is no one right program for everyone. It would be stupid to give the same physical program to two individuals differing widely in builds, general physical condition, and relationship of the development of the breathing and blood circulating apparatus to the development of the muscles. It is equally stupid to give the same meditational program to two individuals differing widely in the development of the intellectual, emotional, and sensory systems, and in the relationship of these systems to each other. One of the reasons the formal schools of meditational practice have such a high percentage of failures among their students, those who get little out of the practices and leave meditation completely, is that most schools tend to believe that there is one right way to meditate for everyone, and by curious coincidence happens to be the one they use. Both physical and meditational programs have as a primary goal the tuning and training of the person so that he can effectively move towards his goal. How a meditation feels. Before we discuss why meditation has the effect it does, the different types of meditation, and how to choose the best ones for you as an individual at this specific time in your own development, it is time to try one out in order to get some feel for what we are talking about. We will choose here a basic discipline called breath counting. Counting your breath is a meditation essentially designed to teach and practice the ability to do one thing at a time. It seems simple in the face of it, but do not let its apparent simplicity fool you. It is very hard, requires a great deal of practice, and if worked at consistently, has definite positive psychological and physiological effects. Here, however, I suggest that you just try it for 15 minutes in order to get a sense of what this work feels like. An aside, I suggest a shorter starting interval of 5 minutes. That will, I assure you, make the same point. End aside, you start by placing yourself in a comfortable position so that you will get as few distracting signals from your body as possible. This may be either sitting, lying on the floor, or standing, depending on your particular wishes. Set an alarm or timer for 15 minutes, or if this is not available, place a clock face where you can see it without moving your head. If you use an alarm clock or timer, use one with a gentle sound or muffle it with a pillow. Now simply count silently each time you breathe out. Count 1 for the first breath, 2 for the second, 3 for the third, 4 for the fourth, and then start with 1 again. Keep repeating this procedure until the 15 minutes are up. The goal is to be doing simply that and nothing more. If other thoughts come in, and they will, simply accept the fact that you are straying from the instructions and bring yourself gently and firmly back to the counting. No matter what other thoughts, feelings, or perceptions come during the 15 minutes, your task is simply to keep counting your breaths and keep trying to be doing only that. Doing or being conscious of anything else during this period is wandering away from the task. These instructions are repeated in more detail later in this video, but these directions are sufficient for our task at the moment. Now, pause and begin. The road of meditation is not an easy one. The first shock of surprise comes when we realize how undisciplined our mind really is, how it refuses to do the bidding of our will. And aside, Note the mind and the will are described as separate entities and aside. After 15 minutes of attempting only to count our breaths and not be thinking of anything else, we realized that if our bodies were half as unresponsive to our will as our minds are, we would never get across the street alive. We find ourselves thinking of all sorts of other things rather than a simple thing we have just decided to think about. Saint Teresa of Avila once described the mind of man as an unbroken horse that would go anywhere except where you wanted it to, and aside. Who then is in control? Is there contention between the mind and the will? And aside. There's a writing that one of the major blocks in our culture to meditation practices and inner development. This is the belief that whatever happens suddenly and startlingly, and that if a meditation or a particular meditational discipline does not produce these results, it should be discontinued and another one started. It is out of this type of belief that we get the spiritual athletes so prevalent among those interested in this kind of work today. They express their lack of discipline by repeating shifting from one type of meditation work to another according to the fad of the moment, and believe that they are quelling the mutiny in their interior ships at the very moment that they are encouraging its victory. To return to our analogy of the gymnasium, we do not expect to work and work at the weight with no changes in our body until all at once our muscles pop up, our stomachs flattening, and we look like Tarzan or Raquel Welch. We expect to, whether a long, slow, generally imperceivable process will change in the direction we wish. The same is true of meditation. The basic types of meditation. There are a great many types of meditation. The book How to Meditate describes 4 major categories most meditations fit into. Many are combination meditations. Instead of classes of meditations, we'll call them paths of meditation. There are no rules to choosing a path. All are hard. Determine which path feels most natural for you. You must test them to find which is best for you. Paths of meditation. Therefore, the various paths of meditation are described as the path through the intellect, the path through the motion, the path through the body, and the path through action. There is one additional test of a meditation practice is after each meditation. It should make you feel better when you do it than when you do not do it. The path through the intellect. The path of the intellect appears to many people and to many mystics to be a contradiction in terms. It uses the intellect to go beyond the intellect, the will, and directed thought processes. It transcends themselves. We consistently pursue thought to provide a revolution in the very heart of thought. This is again similar to the paradoxical situation confronting physics earlier in this century when Werner Heisenberg's words. It came to the completely unexpected realization that a consistent pursuit of classical physics forces a transformation in the very basis of this physics. The basic structure of the path of the intellect is that the student first reaches an intellectual understanding of the 2 realities, the 2 ways of perceiving and relating to the world. And then by a series of training exercise, meditation deepens this understanding. At the same time, he is strengthening his personality structure by the discipline, by the use of structured meditations, forcing his mind to do what is impossible. And in our usual ways of perceiving and thinking, he completes the process. These 3 parts of the intellectual path have combined to force his understanding of the 2 ways of relating to reality to become a total organismic comprehension. In the Bhagavad Gita, this is the first of the paths taught by Krishna to Arjuna. In the modern Eastern tradition, we see the most clearly in the approach of Krishnamurti. How bad is an acronym of 3 words? Homa, wisdom, now, intelligence and knowledge. This may be the path for Westerners. The path through the emotions. The path through the emotions has probably been the most widely followed of all the mystical paths. The path through the emotions concentrates on meditation that loosen the feelings and expand the ability to relate to others, to care, and to love. Unstructured meditations are used more by followers of this path than by those who follow other routes. The basic theory held by meditational school of this kind, and by nearly all others, is that the more free, untroubled, and completed a human being is, the more he has overcome the stunting of his growth due to his cultural training and early experiences, the more he will naturally love, and the better he will relate to others. Some meditational schools concentrate on learning to love the self, some on learning to love others, some on learning to love God. Ultimately, we all arrive at the same place, loving all three. From the mystic's viewpoint, there is no separation between self, others, and God. And learning to fully care for one leads to fully caring for all, the root of the body. Until quite recently, this root has been very little used in the West. Following it, one learns to be aware of one's body and bodily movements, and to heighten this awareness through practice until, during the period of meditation, this awareness completely fills the field of consciousness to the exclusion of anything else. Practice consistently, it leads to the same result to do the other roots. The best known Eastern forms are Hatha Yoga, Tai Chi, and the dervish dances of the Sufi mystical tradition. In the complete absorption of one's bodily integration and bodily movement, the meditator is brought slowly and gradually to doing just one thing at a time. This, as in the other roots, integrates and strengthens the personality organization and bring one both the readiness and the need for developing a new way of perceiving and responding to reality. Further, this particular path integrates the different bodily aspects with each other and with the personality in particular, and the path of action. The path of action consists of learning how to be and to perceive and relate to the world during the performance of a particular type of skill. This approach has been most widely used in the East. Various skills have been used: archery, flower arrangement, aikido, and karate, two methods of unarmed combat in the Zen tradition, and rug weaving in the Sufi tradition. Singing and prayer have been used in the Christian tradition. Perhaps one of the clearest statements of this path in Christianity is in the little way of Saint Teresa of Lisieux. Her way consisted of doing all the small tasks of everyday life with a knowledge that each one as a part of the total harmony of the universe. They were done with love and total concentration and the attitude of this task with the most important thing to be done at that moment. As one learns the mystic's way of being in the world during the performance of a specific skill, the long, hard practice disciplines and strengthens the personality. The pure concentration on doing what you're doing and being aware of nothing else is again the impossible task for our everyday way of being, and so the new way is gradually forced into conscious existence. Just as the effect of doing an intellectually oriented or bodily oriented meditation has, over a period of time, an impact on the rest of your daily perceptions and actions, so also does the effect of action-oriented meditations tend to spread out to the rest of your life. It goes without saying that you become quite expert at the particular skill you work with, but this is not the real goal of the work. The real goal is to help you grow and develop as a total human being, not to become a better archer or karate expert. This has been a very brief discussion of the major routes of mystical training. Many meditations are combinations of different routes, and most schools of meditation include more than one of these paths. Each person should find a combination of routes best suited to him as an individual. There is no one best way for all. There is a best way for each individual. Sex or age is not a factor. Each person must find their own best program depending on his own personality structure. You try to get a sense of how you would feel best working as you are now, not as you would like to be. A program is built with your present reality as its base. Then stay with each meditation you try for the several weeks necessary to really learn how to use it. At the end of that time, if you feel better after you do it than you did before, continue. Otherwise, experiment further. There is one warning sign in meditation that should always be obeyed. This is a sense that you should not be doing this particular meditation, that it is wrong for you. It is a clear feeling that what you are doing does not fit well with the structure of your being and is damaging or deforming it in some way. When and if it is quite rare, you have this sense about what you are doing, stop doing it. One question is, how do you keep bringing your mind back to meditation like breath counting? The Bhagavad Gita puts it plainly. Patiently, little by little, a man must free himself from all mental distractions with the aid of the intelligent will. If you are one of the people who immediately respond negatively to terms like discipline and will, it might be interesting for you to ask yourself, why? Structured versus unstructured meditation. A structured meditation is one that carefully and precisely defines what the inner activity is that you are working toward. Breath counting, as described earlier, is a structured meditation. An unstructured meditation is quite another thing, and it has different purposes and is done differently. In doing it, you think about the subject and simply stay with the subject and your own feelings about it. You work in a wider area than a structured meditation and not in a precisely defined way. The subject you choose may be a word, an image, a phrase, a concept, or a problem. You keep thinking about the subject that you have chosen and explore your reactions and feelings about it. It differs from free association, just following your inner reactions wherever they lead, in that you keep yourself to the subject and see how do you feel about it. There are two center points in this type of meditation: the facts of the matter and how you think and feel about it. Thus, if you are meditating on your own capacity to love, the two center points would be, how do I love? And how do I feel about these facts? Your thinking is kept revolving around these two centers and folding back to them whenever it strays away. After trying the example given in Chapter 8, a wide variety of unstructured meditations will suggest themselves. The purpose of an unstructured meditation is primarily to loosen and free your own personality structure in a particular area, as in the ability to be aware of and to accept your own ability to love, so that you can grow in this area. If done consistently under the aid of the will to integrate oneself more fully and to grow, it does have this effect. In the old Sufi example of the chariot, there must be a driver, a will, who knows the direction he wishes to go, and is active and determined in keeping the chariot moving in that direction. The horse is the state of emotion, of a strong wish to become more than you are now, to develop. The chariot itself is the usual intellect and way of perceiving and relating to the world. All three are necessary for a successful meditation of either of these two types. The driver, of course, must be a command. Another way of describing mental meditations is to classify them as meditations of the outer way, the middle way, and the inner way. This classification applies to structural meditation and not in any useful manner to unstructured ones. In meditations of the outer way, also known as the way of forms, we start with something externally given, something on the outside, and work with and from that. It may be an object, a word, an image, a happening. In Chapter 8, contemplation is a meditation of the outer way. We take an object and work at simply looking at it, exploring it, actively with our eyes, as one might explore a piece of velvet or a lump of alabaster by stroking it with one's hand. We try to learn to do this as non-verbally as possible, not talking in our heads about it. This meditation of the outer way is one of the hardest and, for many people, one of the most productive meditation that was ever devised. Meditations on the middle way, also known as the way of emptiness, strive toward an emptiness of the mind. Not a trance or drowsy state. What is sought for is a highly alert and dynamically balanced mind without conscious thought. When this state is reached, events are perceived and responded to as they occur, with the full focus of immediate attention and with no hang-ups from the past or claims for the future. Meditations of the inner way, also known as the way of expression or the way of surrender, start with what is going on in your own inner life. You respond to this in special ways. You do not try to do anything with these or deliberately follow them in any way, just observe them. The inner way consists of meditation on your own stream of consciousness. So now you are aware of the paths of meditation, the structure of meditations, and ways of meditation. Now let's explore the how of some structured meditations. Do not expect to do a meditation well, focusing on it and nothing else for a long period of time. The first major effect of meditation, strengthening the personality structure, comes from working consistently on it, not on doing it well. The important thing about a meditation is how hard and consistently you work on it, not how well you do it. This point cannot be overstated. It is a crucial truth, but most people simply do not believe it. Only after a long period of practice can you expect to be really just doing a meditation and not anything else. It is only after you have worked a long time and reaped the benefits of the first part of the path in its personality, strengthening, increased ability to relate to and cope with the world, ability to accept and express your feelings, etc., that the second effect, helping you to obtain a new way of being in the world, a new metaphysical system, emerges. The road is long and often frustrating, but the game is worth the candle. Let us fare on. Start by finding a comfortable position in a quiet time and place. If the place feels good to you also, has good vibes, that is nice too. It is not essential, but helpful. The meditation of contemplation. This meditation is called one-pointing. It is used by a wide variety of mystical schools. Essentially, it is learning to look at something actively, dynamically, alertly, but without words. You pick an object to work with, generally speaking. It is best for most people to start with a natural object, a bit of seashell, a pebble, a twig, and look at it with the same structure, as if you were feeling it, as if you were using your sense of touch to stroke a piece of velvet. Stroke it with your hand, feel it. Do this for half a minute or a minute. Then look at it for the same amount of time. Really look at it, learn it by eye. For most people, there is a real difference between the two perspectives. With the visual sense, you tend to use words to describe the sensation, to translate the experience into language. With a tactile sense, you tend to accept the experience on a nonverbal level. Contemplation is a structured meditation of the outer way. You take the object, hold it at a comfortable eye range for you, feeling free to move it closer, farther away as you please, and just look at it. If you take your eyes away, just give yourself permission to bring your eyes back to focus on the piece. If you have any distractions, they warn you to be careful not to get too interested or involved with them as they prevent progress. If you do, the task is to look actively and alertly. You must keep trying to bring more and more of yourself to just doing this one thing, looking. Your aim of being totally involved from your head to your toes in this intense, nonverbal activity, to be totally involved as is a dog pointing at a rabbit. Stay, if at all possible, with the same object for several weeks, at least, at a time. There are also some objects that, because of their symbolic, unconscious, and archetypal meaning, are quite difficult, should not be used until you are thoroughly experienced with this exercise. These difficult objects include a cross, a fire, a mandala. Save these until much later, or your work will probably be greatly slowed. Staying with the same object tends to make the exercise go better. Work for 10 minutes for the first 2 weeks on a daily basis. If your schedule makes this impossible, work at least 5 times a week. After 2 or 3 weeks, increase the time to 15 minutes in a month, later to 20 minutes. After a month of this, you will know where you stand with this meditation and may want to increase it to 1/2 hour, or you may feel 20 minutes are right for you, or that you wish to leave it out of your meditation program. Expect it to be different each time. The fact that it goes well one period makes no prediction for the next. There will be good sessions and frustrating, discouraging ones. About all you can predict as you go on is a tendency to go to more and more extremes, and that when they are good, they are very good, and when not good, intensely frustrating. The meditation of breath counting. In this structured meditation of the outer way, the object again is to be doing just one thing as completely fully as possible. In this case, the one thing is counting the exhalations of your breath, your breathing out. You strive to be aware of just your counting and to be as fully aware of it as possible. All your attention is gently and firmly and repeatedly brought to bear on this activity. The goal is to have your whole being involved in the counting. In this exercise, one is paying as full and complete attention as possible to the counting itself. Thoughts, feelings, impressions, sensory perceptions, to the degree that they are conscious, are wandering away from the instructions. It is probably best for most Westerners to count up to 4 and repeat. When you find yourself thinking about your counting or about anything else, you are wandering away from the instructions, and you should bring yourself gently back. If you find yourself modifying your breathing, this is also a staying away from the exercise. One permissible variation on the exercise is given here is to include the word "and" between the counts to fill up the space between exhalations. This makes it easier for some people. Thus, you would count 1 for the first exhalation, add the word, and for the next inhalation, 2 for the second exhalation, add the word, and for the next inhalation, and so forth. After trying it for a few sessions with just the 1, 2, 3, 4, try 4 session with the "and" included, and then make your own decision. As in all meditations, it is essential before you start a session to decide exactly what it is to consist of, and then stick to it. Be comfortable and set a timer or put a clock face where it is in your line of vision. For most people, this exercise goes better with the eyes closed since there's less distraction. Experiment and see whether it is best for you with your eyes open or closed. If closed, you will have to peek once in a while to see how your time was going. Start with 15 minutes at a time on a daily or else 5 times a week basis if necessary. After a few weeks, increase to 20 minutes, and after another month to 25 or 30 minutes. After working this last schedule for a month or 2, you should be able to determine your own future course with this meditation. The meditation of the bubble. This is a structured meditation of the inner way. The meditations of this sort, you observe your own consciousness in a special way through the structured design of the meditation, while interfering with it as little as possible. You meditate on the stream of your own consciousness. Picture yourself sitting quietly and comfortably on the bottom of a clear lake. You know how slowly large bubbles move through the water. Each thought, feeling, perception, etc. is pictured as a bubble rising into the space you can observe, passing through and out of the space. It takes 5 to 7 or 8 seconds to complete this process. When you have a thought or feeling, you simply observe it for the time period until it passes out of your visual space. Then you wait for the next one and observe it for the same amount of time, and so on. You do not explore, follow up, or associate to a bubble. Just observe it with the background of, oh, that's what I'm thinking or feeling or sensing now. How interesting. Then, as it passes out of visual space, as the imaginary bubble rises, you calmly wait for the next bubble. The purpose of the concept of bubbles, rising through the waters, to help you do 2 things. The first is to keep the timing. You learn to simply contemplate each thought or perception for approximately a definite time, and then to let it go. Secondly, the structure helps you look at each one individually and not constantly feel. You must find connections between them. Since these are crucial reasons for the structure, those who find the idea of sitting at the bottom of a lake unsympathetic or disturbing can picture themselves on a warm, windless day on the prairie watching large, separate puffs of smoke rise from a campfire, as if it were an Indian signal fire. Another version of this is the Tibetan Thoughts are logs discipline. In this, you picture yourself sitting on the bank of a broad, gentle river. From time to time, logs come floating down the river. You follow the same procedure using the log concept instead of the bubble concept. This approach is preferable to some people, while others find it extremely difficult and confusing. The structure and purpose of the two ways of bubbles and logs are the same. For most people, the bubble concept seems to go better. Start with 10 minutes a day for 2 weeks. If you are having special difficulties, on the 4th to 7th day experiment for a session with either the puffs of smoke or the thoughts are logs. Conceptualization. Try both of them if you wish, one session for each. After that, choose one of the conceptualizations and stay with it. After the 2 weeks of 10 minutes each, go to 20 minutes a day. 1/2 hour if it is clearly a right meditation for you at this period in your development, for 3 weeks to a month. At the end of that time, you should know how to include this meditation in your own program. Please try the structured meditations presented and determine if they are best for you. I'll provide some structured, but mainly unstructured meditation in one more video on meditation. Thanks for staying until the end. Please join us for the last video on meditation. Thanks for joining us on this fundamental journey of ascension, and please meditate.